Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Working Title. This is the fourth episode of this. Today, we have a fantastic group of people. You have seen them bicker at each other every single Wednesday on Fantasy Film Fights on Feature Presentation. They are two good friends of mine. I look forward to this. I've been looking forward to this. They have been talking trash all week long, and I can't wait to see what they came up with. For today, you can see on the bottom here, it's going to be a sports movie. Tony put the challenge up to our girl, Peggy, for a sports movie. It was quite the move, but we'll see what happens. I want to put in a long-lost relative in there and one of the 7 deadly sins. Pick one, do it. I don't care which one you want to do. For right now, we're going to bring them in. First off, we will bring the person that put out the challenge. You all know him. You've seen him in 1,000 things. He's back, and this time I'm in control of him. It's Tony.
I don't like not being in control.
I know.
OCD, like power-hungry mind, is just like, why can't I click things? Why? I don't like this.
It feels good to me, though. I'm enjoying this because this is the one time I can actually just be like, oh, you know what? I don't like what you're saying. And then he's gone. This is great.
I'm aware. I don't like it. I don't like when other people have control over me. I've worked very hard to be unshackled.
Sorry, shackled today, apparently. Well, that's weird. All right, we're going to just pass by that. And to bring in the next person here, going away from that, you all know her for Fantasy Film Fights. You've seen her on all the things. She is my partner in trivia, and she's fantastic. And it is in a new background.
Hi, guys.
How you doing?
Yes, I do not have the DVD wall behind me today. It's a little odd. I'm sure it's jarring for some people, but hey, what can you do?
I'm jarred.
I don't like it.
It's like painting back there. It's very soothing and relaxing. I feel nice.
Yeah, it's great.
I like it. Lenny's is color and yours is like very calm.
And I want Peggy to do like a Bob Ross show with that painting.
I don't think I have that kind of talent, unfortunately.
Happy little clouds. Happy little clouds.
A happy little tree. All right. You guys, we've gone over the rules before, but just for everyone that might be watching for the first time, knowing that you two are here, we will give both of you in the first round, hit me with your best plot, 5 minutes. Peggy, 5 minutes. You do it. I know that you're worried about this. Please, no one go all Mike Pence on me and just keep talking. I'm going to give out the 2. Yeah, I know who believe me, I know who I'm looking at. I'll give you 1 minute, 30 seconds, and a 10-second warning. It'll just pop up on the screen so I don't bother you while you're talking. I will not talk. It'll just pop up on the screen. I want to let you give all the time you need.
Yeah. Hopefully I notice it as I get into my shit.
Yeah, I know you'll. Yes, I don't want to mess that up. After that, then we'll do the casting. So don't worry about telling me any of your casting. Your director, if you have one. Peggy, I already wrote down yours.
Well, yeah, it's predictable.
Yeah, sure must be that one. And then after that, I will let you two go at each other to say why the other one sucks. Probably one of the things I'm looking forward to very much. Just like I did during the Bill and Jay match, the comment section is definitely going to be the highlight of this one. Well, before Antonio was the first on screen, he wanted to go first. Oh, no, sorry. He's being nice. I'm not used to this.
I know. It's terrible. I don't like it.
Completely took me off guard. Peggy,
I went ladies.
Huh? What are you saying, Tony?
I was going to say I went ladies first and then realized that I'm not making a joke. Yeah, I was going to make a joke about Peggy and that song. But no.
All my crass behavior behind the scenes, yeah.
I'm about to say, I'm more ladylike than you.
Behind the scenes, but we'll just stick with that. All right. Start the first one with hit me with your best plot, Peggy. We'll only start it when you start talking, so you will not lose any time.
Okay.
Compose, and whenever you're ready, go for it.
Okay, so my movie's set in the fall of 2027. Starts out, we're following a very, very expensive car driving through like the backcountry roads of Western Texas. We come to find out that the guy who's driving this car, his name is Miles Shepard. He's basically already got his place in Canton saved for him. He's a current NFL player. He's a tight end. Like, has nothing on Travis Kelce or George Kittle. Like, this guy's like the best tight end ever. He's coming back home to his hometown because they are celebrating a milestone with the high school that he went to. It's the last year's team won the state championship, the 2026 team. The 2016 team he was on also won the state championship. And the 2006 team from that high school also won the state championship. So he's coming back for the celebration. It happened to be his bye week, and a bye week for a coach that's being celebrated from the 2006 team. See him drive up to a high school, nothing identifying. You just see these kids in practice gear, red and white uniforms, undistinct. Turns out his best friend growing up is the head coach of this high school, and it's the rival high school of the high school that he went to as a child. But he's going to say hi to his buddy and check out and see how the team's doing, everything. And they're having a conversation, and as they having the conversation, it pulls back, and you see the sign of the high school that they're at, and it says the East Dillon Lions. Yes, boys and girls, this is a Friday Night Lights reunion movie. And I am so excited about this premise. The 2006 team that they are celebrating was Coach Eric Taylor's team, the season 1 team from Friday Night Lights. So you're getting everybody back. You're getting Tim Riggins. You're getting Smash, Saracen. I know you guys probably don't know Friday Night Lights because I tried to ask Christina if you were a fan. She said you've seen a few episodes. So I'm like, damn it. But anyways, I'm going to press on. Friday night is normally the night for the game, but because it's homecoming and this whole big thing for all the decades of teams that have won the championship are coming home, game's going to be on Saturday. Friday night, they're having a banquet and honoring Miles, honoring Coach Taylor, and they're going to do like a flag football game after or before it and everything. So you get to see all the interactions with the guys coming back and all that stuff. So I would get into that, but I probably don't have a whole lot of time left. So I'm going to see if I can get through this. So cut to the next day. It's the Dillon Panthers versus the East Dillon Lions in a game. Billy Riggins is now the head coach of the East Dillon Lions, and going against Miles Shepard's best friend, who's Andre Merriweather. Andre Merriweather is the younger brother of Jess Merriweather, who is on the East Dillon Lions as the equipment manager, and she wanted to become a coach. She's currently coaching a D3 college somewhere, but her little brother, through connections to Miles and everything, got the head coaching job over there. So game starts off, Panthers go up 7-0. So 7-3, 14-6, gets to halftime. We're in the Lions locker room to talk about pride. We have to get one of the 7 deadly sins into this thing. And they're talking about how they're playing the East Dillon Panthers, reigning state championship. Very prideful team, but the pride that they have is that the pride of Lions. It's some motivational speech about that weaves that in. I won't get into it because I can't really get into it with 2 minutes left to go. So go to the second half, go 17-6, 17-13, 24-13, 24-20. And there's all this interactions going on with the game. And you see interactions with all the alumni and the sidelines cutting in and out. And then they tied up at the end of the game, 27-27, and goes into overtime. But they don't show you overtime. It says to be continued this fall. That's right. They're coming back with a TV series that's going to follow Billy Riggins and Andre Merriweather as the rivals of those two coaches' teams. And Billy's kid, Stevie, is now in high school, plays tight end. And he's, I'll tell you who's being played by and everything, but it's going to transfer into a TV show. And that's pretty much it. What's it, 1 minute left? All right, I'll give you some background. Smash Williams played in the NFL for a while because last time we saw him, it was at Texas A&M. Probably 3 or 4 years, blew out his knee again, now owns a bunch of franchises, Alamo Freezes. Tim Riggins, married to Tyra. Tyra is running for mayor, and the platform that she's running on is she wants to rezone the districts for the 2 high schools because it's been kind of gerrymandered for the football teams. Let's see. Saracen and Julie never got married. Julie ended up cheating on Matt. And so it's a little awkward between Coach Eric Taylor and Matt Saracen when they see each other at the reunion thing. But I digress. Landry's now an entertainment lawyer out in Hollywood, and you get to see Street, who's like now Drew Rosenhaus level type of agent. It's fantastic. It's total fan service for everyone who's a fan of the show, and it would be an amazing thing. Be on Netflix as a movie and then released on Netflix as a series the next year. And it'd be called Dillon, Texas, I think, or Texas Forever. I haven't decided.
That could be a thing for later, but I like to bring it into Friday Night Lights. I never really watched the show, but I know a lot about the show. I loved the movie when that came out. The show I know was supposed to be very good. I know a lot of the characters and all that. So not even knowing it, I still have an idea what you're talking about. I like
Hungry Eyes Can't Lose.
Clear Eyes, Full Hearts Can't Lose.
That was close. I'm just
Look,
hungry.
Yeah, you're trying to take Peggy on quotes. You're not going to win that battle, I don't think, right now. So no, I like it. I think it was very interesting. Really bringing in a lot of different aspects of the football life, the blown out of the knee, the friends coaching opposite teams, Texas obviously being such a massive football state and all of that happening. I like it. Let's see what Tony has. For anyone out there, this is a rugby shirt because I felt bad for Tony, so I tried to help him a little bit, give him a little bit of something. But football's close to rugby, so it's basically the same thing. Tony, whenever you start talking, I will start your 5 minutes.
Rugby is just harder. American football. Let's just be clear there. Right, let me start. So I'm talking about something that's real in the fact that there is the worst curse in the history of sport. It's not American. It's not even British. It's Irish. It's the male curse. This is the fact that in 1951, the champion male team was traveling through a small Irish village, and they were being boisterous. They were being loud. They were celebrating, and there was a funeral procession going on, and the priest asked them to stop. They didn't, and the priest went, and until every single one of you have died, you're never going to win this cup again. The Sam Maguire Cup, you'll never win it. You'll never come close to it. And to this day, is still the fact that they've gone there 9 times and never won. And there's currently, in real life, there's only 2 remaining living. But in my story, there's only going to be 1. So we're going to start off with Paddy Houlihan. He is the captain of the male team currently. His father was one of the greatest captains to never win the title in their league. Their grandfather was the captain of that team in 1951 that did win the cup, the Sam Maguire. Like, he is meant to be destined. He is the one that's going to be the hero for this team. He's the one that's going to break the curse, especially since his grandfather just died the year prior. His grandfather, the captain, the hero, the person that everyone wanted to see lift that cup once again to go, fuck you to the curse. He's gone. There's only one person left, and that's the person that is the instigator, the person that everyone blamed for this to happen. And everyone. So Paddy is like, he's there, he's all boisterous, he's doing everything in his power to go, oh yeah, I'm the fucking man, I am the greatest to ever play this game, my family is the lineage. Like, and you see like 20-30 minutes of just him being the jack of all lads, like seeing that battle with his father, just like him just like trying to become the greatest of all time. And then they catch him saying this phrase, why doesn't he just fucking die already? Irish Reporter finds that, they print it, and the county mail go, hang on a minute, you can't. All right, we agree with you. We hope that he dies just so we can get this curse out of the way. But you can't say that publicly. For the love of Christ, what is wrong with you? Go and say him. Go and apologize. Go take a picture so it's all happy. So Paddy goes to see this old man, this man that has been hated for decades in his county, and he gets refused at the door. His carer goes, no, you're not coming in. I refuse to let you speak to this man. He has spent years being ridiculed, being mocked because of this, and then you come and insult him. Fuck you, go away. So he doesn't get that picture. But a couple of weeks later, he's at his grave with his grandfather, and you see the old man come up. And the old man explains to him and goes, I knew your grandfather well, I knew him, he's a good man, but he had his flaws. His major flaw was he was an adulterer. He was shagging anyone that walked. Right, and I loved your grandfather. He was a good man, but apart from that, and apart from the fact that he was the one on that bus, on that travel, that pissed off that priest because he was trying to get off with a girl on that bus. They were arguing, and then I had to take the blame. So, and if you want proof, go speak to your uncle. Go speak to the bastard's son that he rejected because he was on that bus. Because his mother was the girl on that bus. His mother was the one that he rejected, and I took the blame for. So you have this thing of just this captain shagging. So you see this captain just as he's trying to manage to cope with just like all this information, just like he goes speak to this person that's meant to be his step uncle, something like that, and they explain just like, oh yeah, the person that's been blamed all this year had to lie, had to pretend to be the cause of it, to save your family, to save your family's legacy, the captain, to make sure you wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for this man lying. And the reason why he had to lie was because he was gay in the 50s in Ireland. That is not a thing. That he would have been killed. So, and then it ends up so you have to Paddy just like going like, what do I do? Do I speak out about this? Do I explain how my grandfather's reason for this curse? And then you get to the final game. You get there, and you find out just a few minutes prior to the game, the old player, the last player alive, standing, singing "Intensive Care." And I think I'll stay up there because I don't want to go from attack. I don't want to be Mike Pence. I don't want flies to start attacking me.
I actually apologize for that sound. I didn't know that Google did that. That was new to me. I didn't know that was going to happen. So that was dope. Wow, that was an intense story. I feel like that. You think you said that was true?
So the curse itself is a real thing. I think there's two people actually living. That there's one that's one that didn't play, one that played, who lives in America now.
Wow. Okay. Tony bringing in the foreknowledge that a lot of us do not know here in America. That's for sure, because I never heard of that. But that is quite a story. The curse itself is just a good story, and then everything you kind of added to it really just emphasized everything you were trying to pull with it. So that was very good. I really like that pitch as well. Both very different. You're really getting two very different movies here for both of you. Next, this one will not be before you guys start going at each other. I just want to do real quick with the casting call. I want to hear who some of your stars are, a couple supporting, the director if you have one. You both know me well enough to know if you go too off-brand with the director, you're going to need to be specific because I don't know who they are. So Peggy went first to do the plot or the pitch. Tony, I'll let you do the casting first for this one.
Sure. Okay. So we meant to. So Paddy Houlihan, captain of the team, his father are going to be the Gleasons, Brendan and Donald Gleason. Makes sense. They're both Irish, so come home and do it. The old player would be played by Michael Gambon. It's once again Irish, so he just gets the opportunity to just be old and just do a few little scenes. The step uncle would be Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah. Okay.
Once again, all of these people actually Irish. I'm just literally going, just come back home for a couple of months. Just speak your normal accents. It's fine. Robert Sheeran, the Klaus from Umbrella Academy, would be the carer, and the director. I'm gonna go with someone that will sound bizarre because of his most recent film. I'm gonna go Tom Hooper. Him that did King's Speech, the Damned United, one of the great sports films of all time. He did a recent film we're not going to talk about. He did Les Mis.
Got it. Okay. I do know who you're talking about, and I know what film you're not talking about, and we will not talk about that.
No.
There's probably one person that would want to talk about that, but
yeah, the owner of this channel is very pissed off, and we're not giving praise to this movie, but no.
Yeah, probably. Christina's a big fan of the Pierce Brosnan call. All right. I like it. Gleason's, obviously you're going with all Irish, letting people just speak normally instead of having to try to pull an accent that might disappear halfway through the movie. So, always a good sign. Peggy?
Yes.
You're kind of going with an old TV show, so I wonder if you're keeping a lot of the cast the same, but you got some new people in there, so who are you gonna bring in?
All right, so most of the cast from Friday Night Lights who are on the show, that's all going to be the same actors. We can get them all back. Hopefully Kyle Chandler would sign on for it. If not, we can kind of kill off Coach Taylor and figure out a way to do that. Anyways, but Miles Shepard, failed to mention that Miles Shepard was the kid in season 1 who came up to Coach Taylor and said, expect me first day of 2014. Miles Shepard, running back. Thought he was going to be a running back. Turned out he grew to be 6'5", better off a tight end. That's going to be played by Winston Duke. That's who's playing it. He doesn't have to stick around for the TV show. He can just be on the movie, one and done. He can maybe make a cameo here and there. But you will follow Andre Merriweather, his best friend, and that's going to be played by John David Washington. I failed to mention the family member that comes back into the scene. We finally get to meet Mrs. Riggins, Tim and Billy's mom, and I'm having Allison Janney play that role because I guess I can see her as Taylor Kitsch's mom. Makes sense. And then let's see, what else do we have? Oh, Stevie, Billy's little kid who's now playing on the team. That's going to be Jacob Elordi. If you don't know who that is, he was Nate on Euphoria, and he was also Noah in The Kissing Booth, that movie on Netflix. And he's 6'5", would be a perfect tight end. following the footsteps of his dad and his uncle. But besides that, it's basically everyone that was on the TV show. Like Michael B. Jordan, he'll make a cameo. Like I said, Kyle Chandler, Connie Britton, all of them. So.
All the classics.
And then I guess since Peter Berg did the show, I would have to have Peter Berg, but I would love to see Richard Linklater take a stab at it. Yeah, just because. Had to mention it.
Of course.
The movie will now be shot over the span of 20 years.
He has actually already started this movie that you've been in process.
Just so know it.
Years, and you'll just see it in about 15. It'll come out. It'll be great.
There's 4 pregnant women who have just signed on their children to be the stars of it.
Yeah, Richard Linklater is definitely going to do an actual real life Truman Show at some point. I feel like that.
I can see that.
Oh, yeah. All right. I like all the cast. I like Peggy. The people you're bringing in are great. Everyone. Allison Janney is like just such a great mom and everything she does, and she's a great actress. Winston Duke, John David Washington, obviously two fantastic people that need to get in more movies. Tony, like I said, bringing in the Irish to play the Irish. It just makes sense. That's just the way you're supposed to do it, but they're all great as well. Now comes the part that I'm always good Lord. Sure. Another person that I'll have to deal with. Now comes the comment section. I will not interrupt you. I will let you two just do what you normally do on Fantasy Film Fights and just bicker back and forth and say why the other plot sucks. If you want to say why it's good or what you appreciate about it, you can save that for the end if you want. But for right now, take the other person down. Tell me why yours is better, why theirs is worse, why you should be the one that gets the green light. So we'll give this a shot, and I'm just going to let you start whenever the first person starts.
So you stay here for like 5 minutes and all this silence.
No, that's fine. I don't even know if I was able to follow the plot line per se of yours. And where was the rugby in it? Am I supposed to believe that the Weasley brothers are rugby players?
The Gaelic football is a different sport. It's a combination of like football and rugby. It's a lot more. You are able to be a bit more like smaller framed and play. So it's not. So yeah, it's very difficult to explain, but it's like you're able to like. It's a bit more like catching and stuff more than.
But I'm still supposed to believe that the Weasley brothers are this type of soccer football players just because they played Quidditch.
But Don Grayson is a strapping young man who's able to, like, if you give him 6 weeks and you tell him to go work out, he'll look like
that's fair. That's fair. He would put the work in. He would put the work in for it. That's true.
He could look like he's a professional athlete. That's like, and then you have. I'm just curious about yours. Just like, so your whole thing is, you remember Friday Night Lights?
Yeah. Remember the thing that should still be going right now? Not really right now, but everyone's been clamoring for a movie for, and it does tremendous fan service throughout the entire thing, and it's a well-known franchise already. So you got people coming in the door regardless of if it sucks or if it doesn't. Yours, half the people, I don't even know what sport you were talking about.
However, that's the best thing about that. So it's an educational thing as well, and the sport isn't the main pivotal point part. It's the fact about like the idea of curse, is the idea of like living up to family legacy. The thing about silence, like the ending would be about the last player
mother,
dies,
uncle, step uncle. Like this kid was supposed to be his, but it's actually mine. And
the last player dies before the actual game finishes, so they'll never know whether or not the curse was a real thing because the curse was broke. Curse ended as the game was finally played. So it's just like this whole like it's a sports film in the fact that it's more like about the idea of like being prideful and being like boastful, like, and getting shut down for it, whereas yours is just like, where's the lost relative in yours?
Oh, that was Allison Janney. We never got to meet Tim Riggins' mom in the actual show, so that's the long lost relative.
So just Allison Janney just coming in, there's like, hi.
No, I have this whole scenario where she gets into it with the Collette family, and Tyra is there, and she meets Stevie for the first time because she's been missing, and Stevie's like really tall, and she's like, now you know where you got your height from, and then Tyra stands up, who's also 5'11". She's like, really, or some shit like that. I don't know. It's a little fantasy in my head, but I've got scenarios for all this, and I've got like plays for the game and how it breaks down and who's talking to who in the stands.
So Yours feels like it would be a fantastic miniseries. Like, give it like 4 or 5 episodes, and like to actually be able to see all the characters, like be able to
No,
revisit. Like,
but
give
no.
Michael B. Jordan the time to actually be there rather than just like 2
He
seconds. Like,
he's not
"Hi,
gonna want
hi,
he's not gonna want to be a series regular on this. He's gonna want
hi,
to make his
speak to-"
cameo in the movie, and then the series goes on, and they can follow the kids who are currently in high school, and then you can maybe have cameos every once in a while from the cast of the past.
It just feels like rehashed as well. And there's also like been more movies about American football that came out recently that are just like better than what Friday Night Lights was. Whereas mine is a completely different sport. It's something that you could that it's very small percentage of the people, especially the American audience, would actually know. So you're able to actually relate to more to the family side of the story, actually like the heartbreaking tale of that, rather than like the sport just being like the crux, being more like the structure rather than the actual crux of the story.
But if you're gonna greenlight a movie, you're gonna greenlight something that's like a niche market that maybe like no one's gonna really know about until and then as the cinephiles are going there, like, oh, it turns out this movie's really good. Or you're gonna go something with already has a built-in fan base who have been clamoring for just a little smidgen of something ever since the series ended.
However, yours is just going to be the face of just like it'll just be that small percentage of the people that actually watched it, whereas mine's actually
You
built.
think
To
they're just gonna go watch a football
Mine's
movie
gonna be-
starring Winston Duke? Are you kidding?
No, because everyone it's the same as all those shows reboots. It's like people don't go and watch them because it's just like, oh, do I have to watch like 7 seasons and a movie prior to watching this so I actually understand, or do I have to like? It comes in with so much baggage that you just like it alienates a ton of the audience. That's why stuff like Veronica Mars didn't make much money. Like all these reboots of TV shows, like they just cut it off and just start from fresh, just and go like, all right, yep, we honor that. We're going to reference it a few times, but you don't need to watch that in order to understand. Yours is a fact that it's just like if you've not watched every single episode, you ain't getting half the plot.
Well, then that's some of the brilliance. You like the movie, then you go back and watch the show, and you're like, "Oh shit! Oh my god!"
But you're going to be there, sat when watching your movie, going, "All right, so who's that? Why am I caring?"
No, it'll do it. It'll justify everyone. I'll give a proper introduction to everybody. You won't need the whole full backstory on everyone.
That would take more than 90 minutes to be able to educate people and just like to understand every single person because you're talking about so much of a plot in like 90 minutes.
No, because this is gearing it up to kick off the series that's coming up from it. It's kind of like okay, let's seal up about this, and they can show up if they want to, but we really don't need to revisit it unless
you're really just pitching a double feature of a first episode of a miniseries. You're pitching 2 out like episode 1 and 2.
So mine has potential for further growth and further money making down the line, where yours is just a movie. I have a whole thing planned.
However, mine is going to be in the spirit of like movies like Brastoff, Full Monty, Billy Elliot. Those British and Irish films that are just able to like be truly Irish, truly British, and then build and become.
And mine's all about fan service. But you want to know what? I don't care. I love the concept, and I fully stand behind mine.
There's not really much I can argue apart from that. All right, I like American football. I have not watched for a Friday Night Lights because A, the movie sucks, and B,
really has nothing. The TV show really has barely anything to do with it.
And the TV show goes on way too long about way too little. I watched the first season and gave up. Kyle Chandler is not that great in it. People, Connie Britton is a star. You never mentioned her.
I mentioned her a couple times.
You never mentioned her. You never mentioned Connie.
I said Connie Britton. Check the tape. I said Connie Britton a few times when I was watching casting. I didn't get into the whole thing about where everyone was at or anything yet because I had 5 minutes.
I had to explain an entire sport in mine, and like something like a 70-year-old.
How did you explain an entire sport? I didn't even know what sport you were talking about. I thought it was rugby.
That's just because you don't listen to me.
Well, that's true.
Pardon?
I said that's true. I don't listen to you ever.
This is more like it.
Yeah,
this is what I expected to hear.
Wow.
You got something else, Tony?
I'm just saying that mine has the ability and potential to like be that thing that Brendan Gleeson finally gets the Oscar nomination for. Even if you don't get him, like you get someone like Liam Neeson to play that role of like the father figure that's just able to just be the pressuring father. Then, and like there's so many people, and it's just like mine has the ability to be Oscar bait. Peggy's just has the ability to be that Netflix thing, right?
Is Oscars the end all be all? Is that the mark of success for stuff?
Well, in a sport film, there's 2 ways you can go. Either you go and be Rocky and just do 25 sequels and like be amazing always and just like Rocky 5 does not exist, or you go and be that film like Moneyball, like Invictus, like them that are actually even though it's the most caring film of all time, The Blind Side, which does get that Oscar love, and because it's using the sport as the structure to build a beautiful story on top.
There are many a sports movie that are beloved that would never even sniff an Oscar. I don't think that is any sort of thing. If that's what you're aiming for, God bless you, Godspeed, have at it. This is not what my movie's about. My movie's about fan service and taking that storyline to the next chapter.
I'm finding it difficult to argue because you've just pitched Amazon Prime going, we're going to do a 90-minute
Netflix.
first episode. All right, Netflix. We're going to do a 90-minute first episode of this. We're going to bring in a few of the old cast. Then we're going to have the new cast start in Friday Night Lights, the new class.
What's wrong with that?
Like, it's like Saturday morning hangover. It's going to be called the sequel.
You truly don't know Friday Night Lights, and it shows.
I don't. I'm not.
I know.
It
shows.
It shows. The show was popular. It would still have a massive fan base, but
it does still have a massive fan base.
It never gets talked about in the same love as like The Wire, Sopranos, stuff like that. It is very much a show where if you.
That's because it's a show that bounced around because they tried to play it on Friday nights when their target audience was out watching football on Friday nights. It bounced around from like it was into like Universal, DirecTV, and fans brought it back twice.
So was Family Guy. And Family Guy's shite. I'm sorry. Your argument is that it got cancelled twice, so that means that it gets the third time. Just like
it's not an argument. I'm just stating facts. It's got a fan base.
It does.
A lot of them didn't find it until after the show was already canceled.
Fair, but you're still just pitching to that small fan base, whereas mine has the ability to actually outgrow and outkick its coverage.
You don't think Friday Night Lights could actually grow and be something more as it goes on?
No, because it comes with so much baggage, and you're making it where it's like you have
Why
to.
Are you calling it baggage? That's canon. It's canon.
It's canon, but it's also baggage because it's going to drag it down.
No, it's going to lift it up. It's going to elevate it. You can pull like tiny little storyline that happened in season 3 of the original one and throw it in there somehow.
But
it's going to enrich it.
Viewer, and I've never heard of Friday Night Lights before, and I see they made a rethink of it, and I'm like, I'm not gonna watch it because there's like, I've not seen it's like the Breaking Bad movie El Camino that came out. It's like,
but you can watch El Camino and still enjoy it and not have seen a minute of Breaking Bad.
But you can, but it's the case that not a lot of people did because it was like, you need to watch Breaking Bad first to actually truly understand and like this.
Or you could watch it and then go back and then you're like, oh shit, and then you go rewatch it and you have a new, better appreciation for all the little tiny things that you were dropped in there, little tiny Easter eggs.
I guess, but it's one way.
That's the only argument you have is that it had a fan base and you have the potential to possibly get a fan base. If that's all you got, then yeah, that's your argument. Sure.
My argument is that you've not pitched a movie. You've just pitched 2 episodes of a TV show.
I pitched a movie. I had a whole arc, and it's just because it's to be continued. I didn't end the movie. Neither did you, because you didn't know who did they win or lose because of the fucking curse.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's the thing when you end it on a sour note. You end it like Rocky did, where it's like you don't know, like you're there. It's like they might have the moral.
Yeah, and that picks up all the marketing to go into the TV series, but it's a full movie, a full standalone movie if you want it to be.
Family in the film, that Houlihan's, you're not meant to like them. You're meant to feel bad for the guy that spent his whole life being hated because the other guy wanted to get his leg over.
That's just what I want going into a sports movie. Just feel bad about a guy the whole way through. That's exactly what I look for.
Because a lot of sports films do that.
That you feel bad for the guy the whole way through?
Yeah.
Name 3.
Okay, Creed.
I don't feel bad for him all the way through.
Rocky has cancer.
That happens like 3/4 of the way through the movie.
No, it happens halfway through the movie, and then you feel terrible for it. And he has to live with the fact that he's widow.
That's also the B storyline of the thing. The whole thing is about Adonis. Give me something else. Give me something else. What's the whole movie? Because you say it happens all the time.
All right, Damned United.
What is it?
The Damned United.
Never heard of it.
You don't know films.
Okay, that's the argument you should stick with then.
Like, but yeah, it's a thing where it's just like if you go for the whole like sport thing of just like, oh, it's all preppy and it's like, yeah, and this team wins at the end, everyone loves it. It's just like it ends up being fun in that box, like the Sandlot and stuff like that, where it's just like you might watch it once or twice, then never go back to it. But mine actually has the emotional stakes. Something like The Wrestler, for example.
So you don't think people go and rewatch The Sandlot?
They watch it like once in a blue moon, then you realize, hey, it's a bit
And-
shit. But it's like nostalgic.
And you think they watch The Wrestler more often than The Sandlot?
I reckon people watch The Wrestler a lot more than The Sandlot because The Wrestler has a lot more emotional carry to it. It's fantastic performances.
Completely disagree.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one. Like, you're making a lot of good points. I see where both of you are coming from, but people definitely watch The Sandlot more than The Wrestler.
Thank you.
I absolutely promise you that. Wow. Okay, you guys don't make this easy because you both went to completely opposite sides of the spectrum of sports movies. Tony, you went with one that, as you were saying it, like I was actually feeling something. It sounded like it really, like it was something that you heard of and you came up with it, and it sounded like real. And it is a movie that I agree. It's not going to be something that is going to be a blockbuster hit, but it does have that Oscar feel to it. Like the really, like, people are going to watch this and people are going to enjoy it. Like the people that love just a good, well done movie. That's what that feels like. Peggy, you definitely went with we're making some damn money out of this movie. We are going to greenlight this, and then we're going to put a mini series up, and we're just going to keep rolling, and we're going to make that money.
Nope.
But that works. That's what a lot of sports movies do, is they create it, like you said. I mean, Rocky, who knows if they planned on doing 10 more, but once we get Rocky 5000, Rocky in Space, then we'll know if that's officially what happens. But this one is very tough. Tony made the right call where her whole thing is it's a TV show. You could make it a mini series and make it really, really good and stretch it out. But I like the idea of creating just 1 2-hour movie, end it on that cliffhanger, and then you can bring about the TV show. The only issue with that is some people don't watch TV as much as they watch movies. They might not want to go and dedicate an hour of their week every week to watching this show. So it has the potential to either be something that blows up, is great, and makes tons of money, or people check out the movie and are just like, I liked it. I don't know if I'm going to go back and watch it. But when you were talking about, hey, people watch this movie and then go back, I did that with like Serenity. I never watched Firefly. I watched Serenity. I was like, I love this movie. I went back and watched the show. So that does fit. I get where you're coming from with that.
Firefly's 12 episodes, Friday Night Lights is 76.
It was much easier. I will say that it was much easier to watch 12 episodes. But I'm just making a relate, back and forth. Tony, you went for the heart. Like, that was a lot going on in yours as well. But I see where you're coming from. You brought in all sorts of different stuff. You brought in like the one guy that just has to deal with this. The curse hits him so much harder than everyone else. It's a cool story based on an actual thing. So I do like that as well. I understand you're bringing in all of your Irish people for the cast. I like Peggy's thought of the John Dave Washington, Winston Duke, House of Jandy. I like the cast a little bit better. The director's kind of either way. I mean, as long as Tom Hooper doesn't go full cats on it, we'll be fine.
No.
But in the end, God damn it. If I was going to greenlight a movie for money and going on forever, it's 100% Peggy. You would do that. That's if I was going to want a movie that was just, I'm looking at the whole pitch. I'm not looking at expanding it. And just when Tony was talking about his pitch, like, you had like the passion, the excitement passion, but his passion for it, just like, I felt it. I felt the way he was describing the things. Even though if he's just the best actor of all time, I really liked where it was coming from. I like it coming from a true story and kind of just putting an extra thing on it. Look, I have to pick somebody, but I love both these pitches. This was by far the hardest one that I've done.
Hey.
Like, without a doubt, some of the others, like the Bill and Jay, Bill also tried to expand on another movie, and sometimes expanding on another movie on our TV show is very difficult to do because people would have to know the movie before, then catch up here. Even if you could catch up, you're still catching up for like 30 minutes before you get the next hour and a half. It's tough. Both the pitches are fantastic, and I would 100% watch both of these movies. Probably I'd watch Peggy's a lot more, but just going with the pitch I liked more, I would have to go with Tony's. Maybe I'm not greenlighting it, but you're getting an indie film. Peggy's going to get the blockbuster money out of this. with how this is going to go. But for right now, I would have to go with Tony's. But like I said, both are fantastic. Peggy, no offense, yours was great. I felt his pitch a little bit more. I don't know.
You know he's going to be unbearable now.
What else is new? He's always unbearable. So at this point, I'd rather one person I'm used to being unbearable than two people being unbearable. So
Okay.
I'm saying you're great and you're not unbearable. He's unbearable all the time. But if you won, you'd probably just be.
There's a possibility that you might have ended up being a bit partial Tony, going partial Tony on just like bragging and being a dick.
Yeah, not full Tony. No one goes full Tony.
No one goes to full Tony. She's going to kill us.
Yeah, luckily. Well, you're in another country. I'm still in the same country. This could be worse for me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, I'm fine. Just the wrong decision. That's okay.
I mean, it very well could be the wrong decision. For most people, other people might have a different opinion. I just, when he
if you knew the show, you'd know this was awesome.
I mean, I know the show, and it is awesome. I'm not disagreeing with anything. That's just what I'm going with for now. Peggy, I know you are super upset with me at the moment, but would you like to try this again at some point?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine with that. Rory, you sit down. Sorry. Rory's getting in here. Okay, now she's on side.
No,
it was fine. It was fun. I just, like I said, Tony's gonna be unbearable for a while.
We'll shut him up. Just put him. We'll just mute him. We'll mute him, and then we'll all talk. But
I'd rather have a pissed off Tony than a gloating Tony. That's all I know.
I don't know. We'll see. If you went back, would you want to try sports? Obviously, I know you know sports. You know rom-coms. Would that be something you would like?
Rom-coms. I'd be all about writing my own rom-com. I'd go different than the concept I put up on Fantasy Film Fights.
Yes. Okay. I'll try to find. I would love to see you write a rom-com because I know you know more about that than I've ever.
Probably a lot of people.
Probably most people, honestly. So look for that. I'm sorry, I did not pick yours. I really liked yours though.
It's all right.
Just saying.
Just know you're wrong. It's okay.
Sleep with an eye open. Christina may try and strangle you during your sleep on her behalf.
Maybe, but don't worry. I'm used to being criticized.
Violence is not the answer.
True. Tony, did you have fun, Lisa? Did you enjoy this? I know you won. Don't be pretentious about it. Just enjoy it and just let it go.
I am the greatest of all time. I am amazing. I am.
Remember, yo, this is great having the power.
I don't like this.
This is so good.
Yeah, this was a ton of fun. Like, I really enjoyed it. Like, it was cool to be able to work on a random idea of just like, oh, yeah, let's see where this goes, and something half decent. But glad I beat Peggy because it's always fun beating Peggy. But I never do in fancy film fights, so
yeah, that's true. I guess I have to give you one on occasion because it usually blows you out of the water in fancy film fights.
It normally happens. So, but yeah, I would happily do this again. I would love to do something weird, like stuff like Bollywood and stuff. Like, I know no one in this fucking community likes Bollywood. But if anyone would ever, I would love to be able to just the most do an American Bollywood film, just pitch that, just yes.
I'm sure I can find somebody that would do an American Bollywood film, and that would be very interesting. I would just sit here in the background being very confused, but I think it would be fun. I like where you're going. I'll try to find someone for you. Peggy, a rom-com person, I'm pretty sure I could find someone to do rom-coms. Maybe I'll throw Christina on here to try to make her go against.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
She would be. I don't think she would. She'd be scared. But I appreciate you guys coming on. You guys are some of my good friends, and I always love doing this stuff. And luckily this time we didn't have to sit here and study and worry about anyone. I like having an actual trivia match. You could just come on here, pitch a show, enjoy it. Anyone else that's watching or anyone else who watches this later that's interested, hit me up. I'm friends with most of you. Let me know if you want to do it. I got a list of some people coming up. Get some ideas in your head. Tell me what you like. Tell me what kind of movies you enjoy and what kind of movies you want to pitch. If you want to do a Bollywood American, let me know. I got a guy right here that wants to do that. And it'll be weird. So that's fine. But for everyone here, Peggy, Tony, myself, thank you for watching. This has been a lot of fun. Again, sorry, Peggy. Don't hate me. But
clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose.
And there we go. That's the way to end it. Everyone have a wonderful time, and we'll talk to you all another time. See ya.